is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Watch my lips and I will spell. Cause they don't just play, but they can rap as well. Liverpool FC.
My idea was to go Liverpool.
Okay, welcome to another episode. Well, what seems like the first episode, but we know it's not the first episode of the Anfield South preview show because we ain't done one of these in a hot minute, man. Like, what's been happening, Engineer Sam, man? You've been slacking, bro. Buttons, minus, done.
No. You just been cancelling them, bro. Don't even try and put that on me. Neither of it. Your fault.
What can I say? I'm a celebrity, man. I got things to do, man. No, I'm playing. Alright, guys, it's us at the Anfield South. You know who we are, man. Your boy Slim, as always. Who's in the building today? Man like JR, ain't seen you for a hot minute, man. Where you been, bro?
Well, you know, this DJ life has just got me by the neck, bro. Time is very scarce, so I've been busy with that. But whenever I get a slot, I'm jumping in. I saw the call, I jumped in, no problem.
Yeah, man. Guys, if you need any of your DJ needs, man, holler at this guy, man. Official DJR on the Insta, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Professor Paul's back in the building.
What's happening, man? How you doing? You right?
Yeah, man. And I got that flipping leash on that mouth of yours today, my brother.
I'm holding it down, man. I'm tired anyway. Yeah.
If you say that guy's name,
and
concise,
you're getting cut off. Just remember, if you say his name.
Actually, I did have something prepared earlier.
Alright. And as I say every week without fail, the pod would not be possible without my right hand man, Engineer Sam in the building. Alright, let's get down to it anyway, man. We're here to talk about probably the biggest game in football, I would say, personally. Liverpool, Manchester United, and the extra spice has been added because they've only gone 3 points ahead of us and are sitting top of the league, aren't they? I like it, keeping the seat warm because that's what it is, mate. They're not there forever. We're not. Right, anyway, listen. So let's get into it, man. Let's talk about them first. Do the bad before the good. I'm going to come to you, Paul. Manchester United, they got any injury worries?
I'm not too sure. I think they're actually fully fit at the moment. Cavani might be back from that ban as well. Yeah, I mean, I was starting to big him up a little bit, and I was kind of talked out of it when we had one of our little debates, and I jumped on Man City, but I was talking about United for a hot minute, really. Just because they're scoring goals and it's a weird time and they're winning some pens, they look decent, to be honest. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. But I think our injury list is disappearing anyway, at least apart from Matip.
Yeah, we'll get to the Liverpool injury list. Let's just stick with United. Just quickly on Cavani, was that ban long enough for what he done, JR?
I don't know, to be honest, because there has been other instances of people doing racial stuff, like he done and got less or got no ban. And for me, I think his one was out of like just not having the knowledge and being clued up on like our culture, because I do believe in Uruguay that the word that he said that he tweeted is like a common word they use for black folk, So I think it's more of an educational thing.
I think that's. Maybe he does need educating.
Pardon me?
I said maybe he does need educating, but I just feel like with all the people that are around him, all the people that are around him, I think like and the experience Cavani has. I mean, what is Cavani? 30 odd, been in the game for a long time. I just feel like he should have done better, to be fair.
Yeah, but you know what? You just don't know. He might not have known, bro. Like how we are in England. Like in Paris or wherever he's played before, other countries, that could have been like normal, could have been like not a thing. But over here, obviously, it is right now, and in world football. So, I personally think it is an educational thing, and the club should. It's not that the club gave him that program to go like, right, this is the things you do, and he's gone and done it. And from what I'm hearing is that they didn't do nothing like that. He just came in and he wasn't given the brief.
I find that a bit hard to believe.
you know.
Club as big as Man United don't educate their players on social etiquette, and then when they come to a new country, I'd be very surprised if he's not giving some sort of heads up or some sort of education on the basic way to behave. Coming from another country, I'd be surprised if they did nothing. To be fair,
We would need an hour.
I'd like to think. I just wanted to quickly touch on it. I'd like to think, like Sam, that a big club like Manchester United would, but like JR said, possibly they haven't. It's interesting, but anyway, just by the by, he served his ban and he's available for selection on Sunday. Big Sam, what kind of team do you see Ollie putting out against us on Sunday?
Well, I see Matic went off injured at the end of their last game. So for me, I can see McTominay starting in midfield. Martial went off injured as well. And I was kind of hoping he'd play because I'm more fearful of Cavani than I am Martial any day of the week. I think Cavani's lethal, to be honest, at the moment. But I believe he'll play Cavani, Rashford, and I think he might start Greenwood up top. The midfield for me is where we'll see how brave he's going to be. If he's going to play Pogba and Fernandes and only one holder in McTominay, I'll take my hat off to him. So that means he's coming to blow us away, and he really is going to go for it. I don't think he will, but based on who they've got available, it's a tough one, you know, because Pogba's in form, Fernandes is in form, and obviously is the player that makes them tick completely. So,
well, they both started against Burnley, though, didn't they? Pogba
against Burnley, yeah, you can see why he was going for that. I'm not saying he had to win the game, but against us at Anfield, that'd be very, very, very brave, and I just don't think he's got the minerals for it.
He could do a shortcut by playing Pogba a little bit higher, you know, like having kind of two-ish up top. So you could have an extra midfielder like Fred, especially if Martial's injured. Because
so
he's not going to drop Pogba now. He can't drop Pogba now.
I would prefer him to play Greenwood, if I'm honest. I'd like a bit of that naivety that comes with a player of Greenwood's age. Do you know what I'm saying? He's liable to not track X, Y, and Z. So I'd be happy to see Greenwood on the team sheet. But like what you're saying, Paul, he could also play Cavani and Rashford slightly up top together and have Pogba in behind, and that way he fits in Fred, McTominay.
They've been playing
Fernandes.
diamonds, haven't they? Didn't they play a diamond about two? I'm sure they played a diamond recently.
I think they played every formation under the sun.
Yeah, they play a lot of different formations. So
remember, Ollie's at the wheel. Anyway, I lost my chain of thought there. Yeah, so the midfield for me is where the game's going to be. It's kind of like every game is where it's won and lost, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So depending on how brave he goes and who we play in midfield is another ball game. But let's turn our attentions to Liverpool. What's the injury news, JR?
Well, at the moment, the main injury news is between Matip and there's one other that we're talking about. But the main news is Matip, if he will be fit in time to get a game. I don't think he personally will, because Klopp's saying you need 2 training sessions before a game, and a game of this magnitude. I'd rather Matip not play and get him right for the foreseeable future, so he lasts longer. Because if we bring Matip back too early, you know the car's gonna break down. And AA is gonna need to get called out.
But so JR, what you're saying makes perfect sense if you weren't talking about Matip. Matip, the rules don't apply to that man. He's a renegade when it comes to injury. He can go in the cryogenic chamber and come back get injured, man.
No, I think Matip's the only injury news apart from the long termers coming back. I don't think he'll make it, to be honest. So we're gonna have to, square pegs, round holes, or play one of the inexperienced players at the back.
What would you do, JR?
I'll play Henderson at centre back. I'll give my reasons why. Against Southampton, because I'm a centre back myself. I play centre back, and I look at certain centre back movements, certain ways you read the game. And when Southampton midfielders got the ball, Henderson's first thing was run back. He wasn't trying to hold the line. He's running back, matching the runs. Where I think I've watched Williams and Phillips, and they kind of ball watch for that split second where you're going to get caught out. And they've been exposed in a number of occasions, especially Williams and Phillips got exposed against Newcastle first half against what's his name? Striker, light skin guy.
Oh, Callum
Wilson, yeah, Wilson. So to be fair, against Southampton, I was very impressed with Henderson, to be honest, at the back. And a game of this magnitude, his experience, he will know a better positions to be in. I know he's not a natural centre back, but I personally think he'll read the game a lot better than the other two for this game. So me personally, I'd play Henderson and Fabinho at centre back just for the security and game IQ and nous rather over the other two. And I think personally he's faster out of all of them. He's the fastest one.
Yeah, that's true. Do you know what, JR?
He's definitely.
I understand your reasoning. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I do feel like playing Henderson and Fabinho would allow us to drop a little bit deeper. I don't want to see us play a high line against a team with so much pace up top.
But don't. Yeah, all right. So I get what you're saying. So if we play with Henderson and Fabinho, you're saying that their counter attack from them. It suffocates that then.
So to a certain degree, yeah, because they dropped that deeper naturally. We saw that against Southampton. Henderson's not really trying to push up, and neither is Fabinho because they haven't got the recovery pace. So I don't actually mind that because at least you genuinely know they haven't got it. With Williams, you see him as a centre back, but he's got no pace. Phillips is the same.
Parachute on, bro.
So yeah, I don't want to lose Henderson from midfield, but I understand where you're going with that.
Definitely.
So, Paul, with that in mind, if Henderson and Fabinho start centre back, what's your midfield three?
Well, personally, I wouldn't do that. I mean, if it was JR's team, I would go with it'd have to be Ronaldo. Maybe you could do that Diamond then. Not Diamond. I'd maybe go number 10, Shaqiri number 10, Winnie and Thiago holding. But personally, I would have Henderson, Ronaldo, and Thiago in midfield.
So who's that centre back?
So who would you play at centre back? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it basically it is what it is. I mean, the guy, he hasn't got much pace, it's true, but I'm trying to think if he's been on a losing team yet. I mean, he plays Liverpool. He's played about 6, 7, 8 games now. He played against Tottenham. We did win those games. He is a centre back. He's at the club. He's got to do his job.
Is that masking some of the stuff he's done in the games though? Because
of course, no, of course. What can I say? That's the cards we've been dealt. I wouldn't take Henderson out in the field.
But if you look at Williams against Tottenham, even though he got all the accolades and that, he did make a few mistakes in that game.
Yeah,
like
the header,
the header. Yeah, there was a few things I was like, oh, could have gone either way. Got away with it. But so for me against Man United, this game we can't take no risk because where it is right now, it's crossroads time. Where are we going?
I agree with you, JR. I think playing Williams is risky, especially against a seasoned striker in Cavani. He will give him the runaround. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and JR's been disabled. I'm sure he'll come back in a second. Yeah, I just think Cavani will give him the runaround. And like JR just said, we're at a crossroads in terms of the league and our results. And I think a bad result on Sunday just sets us onto a plane that I don't even want to know where that takes us. Do you know what I mean? So we need a positive result.
Sam,
so
Sam on the WhatsApp group was talking about Phillips. Have you got any positive things to say? Would you be a bit more easy if Phillips played? And why would you be more easy if he played?
I just think he's a more aggressive, natural centre-back. I think he'll attack the ball a lot more. He's better in the air. Obviously, he doesn't have any pace, but for me, I'm more confident with him. I'm just more confident with him. Williams he scares me. He actually scares me. I don't like to feel that about any centre back at all.
I know if I had to pick one of the two, it'd be Phillips.
I know he's going to get burnt.
Yeah, be Phillips.
But I have more faith in him than Williams, without doubt.
I thought the game against Southampton, although it was a tricky one because obviously we had like nearly 130% possession. That's how bad it was. But I thought we didn't look very fluid at the back. Henderson is a quality footballer. Like at his best, for me he's approaching world class. If you take all the Championship match statistics of like 20 out of 20, determination, all that stuff, organisation, but it didn't look fluid. It wasn't. I know Phillips is whack. I know Williams is whack in terms of our level, but they are centre backs. They've probably been playing centre backs since they're 12 years old. They are centre backs. That's what is done there. They are centre backs.
Yeah, but do you know what, Paul? You can't just say because a man is a centre back he should play at centre back. Every game is judged on the opposition, and you can't play two players of that experience against someone of Rashford's pace. Imagine they play Pogba in behind his guile and Cavani's experience. You can't do that. That's almost killing their career before they even started.
I'm not arguing about the limitations they have. I'm just saying it's unfortunate, and then I would just literally lean back on the fact that we did beat Tottenham, and apart from the the head a bit, I thought he played well. I think Reece Phillips was really good before as well.
You know, I agree with you. We beat Tottenham, but that's Tottenham. This is Manchester United, two different teams. Yeah. Remember, I'm going to take it back a little bit. Remember, we used to cuss Brendan Rodgers because he almost didn't adapt his game for different teams. Obviously, the Chelsea game, he went with his same mentality when he only needed a draw. So you need to adapt for every team. You can't say we beat Tottenham, so yeah, put the young boy in. I disagree with you there, man. I think you've got to go with the players in the positions that are going to do the best job. And for me, at the moment, that's Henderson and Fabinho in this game. In the next game, it could be Williams and Phillips even. Do you know what I mean? Even give Fabinho a rest.
So what? You play Henderson centre back as well?
Yeah, I would. And I think he's the fastest out of all of them, like you said. And I think that pace is going to be key because Rashford, he's not going to stay wide, Rashford, is he? He's going to come inside. Yeah, he's going to. If we play one of the young boys, he's going to target them. Do you know what I mean? He's not quicker than Trent. He's not quicker than Robbo, unless Trent switches off. But pace to pace, he's only quicker than the centre back.
I mean, JR, you tell me as well, like you're a centre back.
Yeah.
Look at the body position of Henderson. And if we just do a theoretical scenario where Rashford's running towards him, and that's a whole new ball game for him. He's nearly 28 years old. It's a whole new ball game. Go inside on, moving back, waiting for someone to get back. Has he got the? You tell me.
Yeah, I put like as a defender, Henderson knows Rashford 1-on-1 will probably skin him. So he needs to not get in a position where he's exposed on the counter. So his job is as a makeshift is to delay Rashford. So for me, Henderson will delay until the cover comes back. I can't see him going to engage Rashford. He's going to try and delay. And then when you delay, that's when the gaps close up and everybody comes back. So I think that's what he would do if he's on a one-on-one situation. He's obviously not naturally a centre-back, so certain movements, Rashford may get the better of him. Rashford's a quality player. It probably will happen at one stage. But Rashford, I hope he plays on the right and not the left. Because when he plays on the right, his output is not as good as the left. Because when he plays on the left, he lets the shot off.
He cuts in on that right foot. And you know what, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure, but Trent's never had a great game up against Rashford to my memory, and I'm not sure what Trent's going to turn up on Sunday. If he's out on the left.
Do you not think that we're going to miss so much from having Henderson not in midfield if we in defence? I feel like that's where the game's going to be won. We know they're going to score. You know what I mean? We know we're probably going to score as well, but I just don't. I feel like we need that. We need him in midfield. Like, I don't think we can do without him in midfield again.
So you know what, I understand your concerns, Sam, but when I think about it, right, you're still going to have his energy on the pitch, No, in terms of his how vocal he is on the pitch, his leadership qualities on the pitch. The only thing you are going to miss is his energy, his ability to get across the ground and cover the pitch. But Thiago is pretty good at that himself. Ronaldo, we know, is good at that. Do you see what I'm saying? And whoever the third man that comes in, whether it be Milner or Shaqiri, I do think. I know. Listen, I know. I don't
feeling
think
sensitive
Shaqiri
as it
will
is
start.
right now. Like, you need to stop.
What about Jones?
It's no good.
Jones could start, and if Jones does start, he has the energy to cover the ground. But for me, it will be a Milner and Jones personally in midfield if Henderson goes at the back.
I'm really convinced that Henderson might actually go at the back.
He is.
You know what's funny? And you know what's funny? When I saw that team sheet against Southampton, I was like, yes, good idea. Henderson centre back makes sense. We've got all our best players on the pitch. Let's go. And I said straight after, in retrospect, I was completely wrong. Klopp was wrong, and we were completely arrogant. I thought that was my fault. You can't bring a centre midfielder of those years. Fabinho played in defence along. This is my opinion anyway. I thought it was arrogant, and we paid for it. We lost that game.
I disagree with you, man. Only reason you're saying that is because we lost the game.
Yeah, I know.
If we didn't lose the game, yeah, I don't think it was exactly JR. It wasn't the defence that cost us that game.
Henderson literally made the mistake for the goal.
No, Henderson.
Let's not.
Henderson dragged Wijnaldum in. Just quickly, Henderson dragged Wijnaldum. Hold on. Yeah. Henderson dragged Wijnaldum in, yeah, right. And Henderson had Wijnaldum too close to him. I think Wijnaldum could have been a bit further over to cover Danny Ings because he was on the back of Trent. But at the end of the day, the opportunity presented itself for Trent to clear the ball, and he did a whole shaky limbo Macarena type thing. I don't know what he was doing, so I'm not blaming Henderson for that. So let's move on from that. But personally, the defence wasn't at fault for the loss at the Southampton game, so I'm perfectly happy seeing Henderson in centre back. But
the Southampton game, just touching it quickly, I think the front three lacked composure in that game, and it's been. I think I keep saying it in the group, we used all our stars at Crystal Palace, bro. We used them all up. Everything we licked was going in, and then since then, these guys. I just want to see them get them composure back. I think the Aston Villa game could have done could have helped a little bit with that, but
yeah, JR, we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. We've been talking about, and I'm sure we even said composure, but I think I was talking about just wanting to see Mane and Salah dribble past players again. Yeah. Beat one, beat two, and then Slim and Sam have been talking about creativity. Like, there is like a fluid issue at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. So let's hope that changes on Sunday, innit?
yeah, let's hope that come Sunday that the front three are on form. I mean, we've had 9 days rest. There's been a lot of training in that period of time. So let's hope they're just chomping at the bit. And the fact that United are 3 points ahead of us, I personally feel plays into our hands.
Yeah.
You know, because now if you check it, the media, the spotlight is all on Manchester United. Can they win the league? They've forgotten about us in a short space of time and what we're capable of, which I like. I think we favour the underdog more than being the leaders, if you ask me. So, right, I guess the only thing left for me to do is get score predictions. So I'm going to go, as I see it on my screen, I'm going to come to you, JR, first.
Liverpool 2, Manchester United 1.
Right, the fact that you froze means they're not going to score. That means they're not going to score. I'm changing my prediction now. You know what I mean? But no, you just froze again. See, they don't want you to say it. They don't want you to say it. I'm moving on. Alright, Paul, what's your score prediction?
I think we'll win, and I suppose we've been spoken about him. Thiago's back, and I was nearly resenting him because I didn't want us to be like a one-man team, but it looks like we're gonna have to play through him, and I'm hoping his first game is gonna give us a 2-1 win as well. 2-1.
Go on, Sam. What's your score prediction?
Do you know what? I never really go against the win, but today is that time. I believe it's going to be 2-2, and I think we're going to be 1-0 down at half time.
Okay. Just quickly on the Thiago thing, Paul. I think everyone raved about the game he had against Villa. What we all know, Villa put out the kids. I'm looking for Thiago to turn up in a big game, because I don't think he was impressive against Southampton. So I'm looking for a big performance. Not that I don't think he's a good player, and I know he's capable of. I'm just not sure we've seen.
This is his first game at Anfield. Wow.
We've not seen it in a red shirt. I mean, since the Chelsea game was just a cameo, and then Everton game he was good, but I want to see the real Thiago turn up on Sunday. So
he will.
With that in mind, and with JR's technical problems, I'm gonna go 2-0 Liverpool.
Love that.
Can I ask one last question? If we do go 3-man midfields like this Sunday and going forward, where would you play Thiago?
8.
6.
6, 8.
I don't want to see him at 6 yet.
I'm torn because at 6 he can spray those passes, but in 8 he punches those passes through the lines. So
Oh,
I
actually,
think
let me-
if you have,
let me-
I think. Wait, hold on, Sam. I think if you have a midfield of Henderson, Thiago, and Ronaldo, he definitely plays at 8. Without Henderson, I'm not so sure.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If Henderson isn't playing, then he will have to play at 6. But if Henderson is, then he can play at 8 with no problem for me.
All right, boys, let's wrap it up there. Guys, you've seen all the socials, so do all that good stuff, that liking, sharing, subscribing, all of that, please. I've been your boy Slim. We'll be back after the United game on Sunday with a podcast with a Manchester United fan. Let's just hope it's a positive result. Engineer Sam's been with us today. Yay! Man like Paul.
Respect, peace.
All right, and JR, man, make sure you come back soon, brother.
Virgin, mate. Virgin's shaking me every day, mate. Tell you.
All right.
But yeah, big up.
Until the next time, people, we out, man.
Later.